Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. Welcome back to another new class of distance learning program. My dear students, boys and girls, yesterday we started a new topic, a new lesson called Quadratic Equations and Functions. Today, again, we will be continuing the same lesson and we will be learning a new method to solve quadratic equations. My dear students, I would like to appreciate each one of you in taking interest in watching the very first lesson of 2021. Thank you all for giving positive feedback. I have read all those comments and I really enjoyed your good words. Thank you. So let's start our regular lesson now. My dear students, boys and girls, my name is Sayyid Faraz Hassan and I am your mathematics instructor. With me, I have my team, the team of subject specialists, Sir Ashraf Ali and Ms. Shabana Salman. This is chapter number 1 of your maths book 3, Quadratic Equations and Functions. So, dear students, our learning objective for today, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve quadratic equation in one variable by completing the square method. This is the third method which we are learning today. This is called completing the square method. So let's have a quick recap what we learned earlier. We have learned yesterday I spoke about different methods to solve quadratic equation. I told you there are 5 methods of solving quadratic equation. Number 1, by factoring, that is the factorization method, taking square roots on both sides of the equation. Number 3, which we will be learning today, completing the square method. There is another method called using quadratic formula, and the last one is graphical method. So today we will be focusing on completing the square method. All right, boys and girls, so here we go. Now, this is exercise 1A of your school textbook, and express each of the following expressions in the form x plus a the whole square plus b. What we need to do, they have given us a form x plus a the whole square plus b. This is it, x plus a the whole square plus b. It may be plus b or it may be minus b. What is this? This is our question. We need to transform this in this form, right? Now, what can we see over here? We can see that there is a bracket, there is a expression having whole square on it. And after that expression, there is a number, a constant number added to it, or it may be subtracted from it. So what we need to do, we need to make it a perfect square over here, right? Now, how can we do this? We need to take the coefficient of x. What we need to take? We will be taking coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? It's 12. So take this coefficient of x. I'm writing it here as we are doing it for the first time. Take coefficient of x. All right, what's the coefficient of x? 12. This is step number 1. Step number 2, divide it by 2. So we're going to divide this 12 by 2. Right, whatever we get the answer 6. Step number 3, square it now. So we're going to square it 6. Step number 4, add and subtract from the given expression. So here we go. What we need to do, this is our expression given to us, x squared plus 12x. Now what we did, I took the coefficient of x, that was 12, I divided it by 2, I got my simplified form as 6, I squared it, and I am going to add it, add and subtract in this given expression. So I'm writing it 6 square and minus 6 square. Just to balance it, as I'm adding it on my own, so in order to balance it, I will also subtract it on my own, right? So now we need to see, are we getting this form which they are asking us to make? So look at this. The first three terms. Do you think they are making a perfect square bracket over here? So this is just for your understanding. Once you get a clear concept, you can do it directly without even doing these steps. But as we are doing it for the first time, I'm doing these steps in front of you to make you understand. A square plus 2ab plus b square, right? And then minus 6 square is as it is. That is 6 square is 36. Now, look at these three brackets. These three brackets are for the identity a plus b the whole square. And it's equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So what we need to do, we need to identify what is a, what is b. So look at here. It's a is x. I'm writing x here. B is 6. I'm writing 6 here. Now 2ab. 2 multiplied by x multiplied by 6. Now check this. Check this middle term. 2 multiplied by x, 2x, 2x multiplied by 6 is 12x. Do you think we have a middle term 12x? Yes. It means we have found the correct values of a and b. Now we can make a perfect square like this. Okay, so x plus 6 the whole square. In the end we have minus 36. So this is our answer. That's what they asked us. Look at over here right on top. Express each of the following expression in the form x plus a the whole square plus b. It may be plus b or it may be minus b. So this is our answer. We have a bracket shows you it's a perfect square. It is showing you the whole square minus 36. Let's do the same question again over here. Now x square plus 3x minus 2. Now what we need to do, what are the four steps? We take coefficient of x, we divide it by 2, we squared it, and then we add and subtract it to make it a perfect square bracket. So what's the coefficient of x? It's 3. In the rougher column, you write 3. I'm not writing these steps again. I've written it here for your understanding. Please do read these steps again and again so that you can memorize these steps. So write down the coefficient of x. It's 3 divided by 2, step number 2. Step number 3, square it. Step number 4, add and subtract it. Okay, that's what I'm doing, but you're going to do it over here right after 3x. So x square plus 3x. Then what you need to add and subtract 3 upon 2 the whole square. Then minus 3 upon 2 the whole square, because as I'm adding it myself, so in order to balance it, I'm going to subtract it myself. Now these three terms, this will make a perfect square, as I told you over here in the very first part. Okay, you can check it by placing these values in the formula a square plus 2ab plus b square. That is the identity number 1. So you'll get over here x plus 3 upon 2 the whole square, right? And after this, open up the bracket. That is 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4 minus 2. All right, so let's simplify the other part. So we have x plus 3 upon 2 the whole square. We can take out a minus sign common. Now we can take LCM over here. 9 upon 4 plus 2. So it's 2 upon 1. So we can take the LCM. X plus 3 upon 2 the whole square, x plus 3 upon 2 the whole square, minus the LCM will be 4, 9 plus 4 to 8, 4 to the 8. So finally we have x plus 3 upon 2 the whole square, minus 9 plus 8 is 17 upon 4, minus 17 upon 4. So boys and girls, this is your answer. I am having short of space, so please excuse this. So x plus 3 upon 2 minus 17 upon 4. This is how you make this form x plus a the whole square plus b, right? It may be plus b or it may be minus b. I'm repeating it again. This much part, I'm making it a small box on it. What I did here, this is basically, this is like this: a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay, and this was equals to this, a plus b the whole square. You all know this now. This is the first identity, a plus b the whole square. It is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So you need to identify the values of a and b in this case, right? So I can see my a is x and my b is 3 upon 2. So but for just for checking, I'm just writing this in the bracket, a, that is x, then plus 2 multiplied by x multiplied by 3 upon 2, then plus 3 upon 2 the whole square. All right, this 2 and this 2, they cancel out each other. So I have over here x square plus 3x plus 3 upon 2 the whole square. You see this? X square plus 3x plus 3 upon 2 the whole square. Okay, so finally when you substitute these values in a plus b the whole square, you will get this form, x plus 3 upon 2 whole square. Now what I did, I added on my own 3 upon 2 the whole square. So I'm also going to subtract it. I subtracted it also, 3 upon 2 the whole square. Now once I added it, just to balance it, I also subtracted it, 3 upon 2 the whole square minus, okay, minus 2 was already there. So finally I need to simplify this much part. I took out a minus sign common, 9 upon 4 plus 2 upon 1. So you can take the LCM 4, you get 9 plus 8, and we know that 9 plus 8 is 17 upon 4. That's your answer. X plus 3 upon 2 the whole square minus 17 upon 4. I hope this method is clear, and we will be doing some more questions. So stay tuned. So, dear students, this is question number 4 of the same exercise. We are asked to solve each of the following equation, giving your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Now, what is the equation given to us? X square plus 2x minus 5, and we are expected to solve this equation by the method that is completing the square method. And in completing the square method, what do? We identify, or we take the coefficient of x, we divide it by 2, we square it, and then we add and subtract it. All right, so in this question, what is the coefficient of x? It's 2. I'm not writing the steps, I wrote it in the previous slide. Please read it from there. The coefficient of x is 2. Step number 1. Step number 2, divide this by 2. So 2 upon 2 is 1. We get the answer 1. Now square it. Step number 4, add and subtract it. Add and subtract it. So over here, I'm writing it here, equals to x square plus 2x. Right? Now after this 2x, I'm going to add and subtract plus 1 whole square on my own. And then finally, I'm going to write the last term minus 5 is equal to 0. I hope this makes sense to you guys. What I did, I took the coefficient of x, that is 2. I divided by 2. 2 upon 2 is 1. So 1, whatever, 1 square of 1, I need to square it, and then I need to add and subtract it in the given equation, right? So this is it. Now, the first three terms, x squared plus 2x plus 1, it makes a perfect square bracket. I'm talking about these three terms. So, look at this. X plus 1, the whole square. Got it? Now, look at the last two terms. It's again minus 1 square. So, the square of 1 is 1 and minus 5 is 0. Okay? So, Acha, these are equations, so no need of writing these equal signs. You can put these implies signs if you want, or don't don't write anything. If you wish, you can put these implies sign or do not put anything. Okay, uh, I'm erasing it. I'm just erasing it. Let's leave it. Okay, so look at this. What do I have now? X plus 1 the whole square minus 6 is equal to 0. Now I can shift this 6 on this side. X plus 1 the whole square equals to 6, right? So what we need to do, this is the same method which we did earlier in yesterday's class, that was taking square root method. As we can see, the left hand side, it's x plus 1 the whole square. On the right, it's 6 is not a perfect square, but we have calculators. We are allowed to use calculators. We can take square roots on the two sides, square root on this side, square root on this side. But remember, I told you on your own, you need to put a plus and a minus sign. So square and square root, they cancel out each other. X plus 1 is equal to, please use your calculator, the square root of 6. So square root of 6 is, the answer is found to be 2.449. I can write 2.45 plus minus 2.45, right? And I told you that you need to put a plus sign and a minus sign on your own. Now make two columns. In the first column, write the same left hand side, x plus 1 is equals to positive 2.45, and in the next column x plus 1 either or x plus 1 is equals to negative 2.45. All right, now we are expected to find the value of x when this positive one moves on the other side. 2.45 minus 1, so we have x is equals to 1.45. That's the first answer. Likewise, x equals to minus 2.45 and minus 1. Add up the two negative numbers, you have minus 3.45. So dear students, I hope this makes sense to you all. We found the two answers as x is equals to 1.45 and x is equals to negative 3.45. Okay, so this is part C. I'll just initiate it and I'll leave the remaining part for you guys to do it as homework. What we need to do, we need to apply a method called completing the square method. Why do we need to apply a completing the square method? Because the previous two methods, that was the factoring method, factorization method, and the other one was the taking square root method. Both the method, we cannot apply those two methods to get our answer, right? So in such a case, we need to go for some other method, and that some other method is this completing the square method. So now, what is the coefficient of x? It's 12. I'm writing it in the rough column. divided by 2. So we have got 6. We need to square it and we need to add and subtract it. Okay, so I'm doing it here. Minus 12x, and after this 12x on your own, you need to add up this 6 square, and as you are adding it on your own, in order to balance it, you will subtract it on your own. Okay, plus 9 equals 0. All right, boys and girls, so look at this. The first three terms, it makes a perfect square bracket. A square minus 2ab plus b square. So let me do it. A square minus 2ab and plus b square. Whereas the last two terms, 6 square is negative 36 plus 9 equals 0. Right? And over here, it's x. It's 6. Again x and 6. Now you can check this. 2 multiplied by x multiplied by 6, it makes negative 12x. What it makes? It makes negative 12x. So you have x minus 6 the whole square, and minus 36 plus 9 is negative 27 is equal to 0. You can shift this negative 27 on the other side. So you will have this shape now is equals to 27. Now what you need to do, take square roots on both the sides. Put a plus sign on the minus sign on either side and make two columns. Find the two answers. So boys and girls, I'm leaving it as your homework and you all are expected to do it ASAP. All right. So let's move on to the next question after this. Look at this. Now we have got uh, a decimal number as a coefficient of x. So no worries, decimal number, you all are allowed to use a calculator. So whether it's a decimal number or a fractional number or a simple integer, whatever type of coefficient is there, you can do it very easily. No worries, and you can easily do it. So in this question, boys and girls, the coefficient of x is 0.6. What's the coefficient of x? It's 0.6. What will you do? You'll take the coefficient of x, write it down in the upper column 0.6. That's the step number one. Take coefficient of x. Step number two, divided by 2. So 0.6 divided by 2. So you get the answer as 0.3. Now square it and then finally add it and subtract it. Okay, so let's do it. Uh, we have x squared, we have 0.6. Now, after this, we're going to add it and we're going to subtract 0.3, the whole square. And just to balance it, we'll also subtract it 0.3, the whole square, minus 1 is equal to 0. All right. So the first three terms will make a perfect square. So no need of writing those brackets. Those were just to make you understand. Now you have a concept. You have a square, you have 2ab, you have b square. You can just write the identity as a plus b, the whole square. So what is a? It's x. What is b? It's 0.3. X plus 0.3, the whole square. That's it. No need of writing those tiny, tiny brackets. I just wrote it previously to make you understand. This is more than enough. X plus 0.3, the whole square. Now minus. Now, the last two terms, 0.3, the whole square, minus 1. 0.3, the whole square, when you open it, so it becomes 0.09, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's 0.09. So open up the bracket, 0.09 is equals to 0. Add up these two numbers with the negative sign, shift it on the other side. so that you can apply taking square root method on both the sides. X plus 0.3 the whole square minus 0.09 minus 1, it becomes minus 1.09 equals 0. Shift it on the other side, so this minus goes on the other side, becomes plus. X plus 0.3 the whole square is equals to 1.09. Now what we need to do, we need to get rid of this square on the bracket. And how do we get rid of square? By taking square roots on the two sides, on both the sides, right? So take square root on this side, take square root on this side, but remember, put a plus sign, minus sign on your own. All right, so dear students, this is square and this is square root. They cancel out each other. So we are left out with x plus 0.3 is equals to plus minus and the square root of 1.09. You are allowed to use calculator. Square root of 1.09 and it is found to be 1.04. 1.04. Now make two columns. In the two columns, write either x plus 0.3 equals positive 1.04, or in the next column x plus 0.3 equals minus 1.04. All right, so you need to make two columns. In the first column write the positive value after finding the square root, and in the next column write the negative value, right? So we are asked to find the value of x. Shift the 0.3 on the other side. X equals to 1.04 minus 0.3. You are allowed to use calculator. Feel free to use it. Minus 0.3. So we have 0.74. X equals to 0.74. That's the first answer. All right, dear students. And they have asked us to give your answer correct to two decimal places. So we have two decimal places, right? The second part of it. X equals to minus 1.04 and minus 0.3. So when you add up the two negative numbers, you have negative 1.34. Minus 1.34, again correct to two decimal places. So boys and girls, so this is so simple. I'm sure you are able to get a clear concept of it. But once again, do reflect it in your notebook. Inshallah, your concept will be crystal clear. Okay, moving on to the last part of this question. Again, I'll just help you out and you're going to finish it on your own. So what we need to do, we need to apply a method called completing the square method. And what do we do in this? We take the coefficient of x that we can see is 5. So it's 5. We're going to divide it by 2. Then we need to square it. And then we need to add and subtract it. So right after 5x, you need to write down 5 upon 2 the whole square, then minus 5 upon 2 the whole square, and then you will make a perfect square by using the identity a minus b the whole square. And then shift the numbers on the right hand side, take square root on the two sides, make two columns. And remember, when we take a square root, we put a plus sign, we put a minus sign, make two columns, and then find the final answers of x. So I'm leaving it as homework, boys and girls. I'm sure you'll do it very easily. All right, so this is the end of our class today. I hope you have enjoyed it. So what did we learn today? We learned how to solve quadratic equations by completing the square method. And by completing the square method, what do? We take coefficient of x, we divide it by 2, we square it, and then we add and subtract it. There are 4 steps in completing the square method. What is the first step? Take coefficient of x, right? Number 2 divided by 2. Step number 3, square it. Step number 4, add and subtract it from the given expression that is given to us. So likewise, you do it, the 4 steps, you will get your form, and then take square root on the 2 sides, make 2 columns. Remember, whenever we take a square root, we need to put a plus sign and a minus sign on our own. Then after this, make 2 columns. In the first column, put the positive value. In the next column, put the negative value. Shift the numbers on the right hand side, simplify it, addition and subtraction, you get the 2 answers. So boys and girls, hopefully you have learned the concept. Thank you, dear students. Always be thankful to Almighty Allah for all His blessings. Alhamdulillah, we are so blessed as a nation. Alhamdulillah. So attempt the homework. I've given you 2 questions to complete, and your respective class teachers will be giving you more questions. So please note down this in your school registers and make a proper note of it. Leave a response. Have a nice day. It's Friday, so Juma Mubarak from my side. Take a good care of yourself. Pray for me. Pray for yourself. Pray for everyone around you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.